Many thanks for joining us on Business Now. I am Deborah Eze. The federal government on Monday in Abuja approved the total sum of 19.24 billion naira for the training of 50,000 non-graduate NPAR beneficiaries and the procurement of taxiway lighting system in Port Harcourt, Lagos and Abuja Airport. The sum also covers consultancy services for the Dadin Kowa 40 megawatts project in Gombe State and the furnishing of the 10-story headquarters of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency located in Victoria Island, Lagos. The Ministers of Human Affairs, Social Development and Disaster Management, Sadiya Farouk, and her counterparts in the Ministries of Aviation, Education and Water Resources revealed this to journalists after an extraordinary meeting of the Federal Executive Council presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the State House, Abuja. Farouk said the Life Skill Acquisition Program had been on since the inception of the NPAR program in 2016 as the third batch begin training soon. Farouk added that the council approved a policy on the homegrown school feeding program, an initiative she said has reduced the number of out-of-school children nationwide. Although silent about the actual figures, she expressed hope that Nigeria's out-of-school population will be drastically reduced by 2030. The federal government's program through the COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus has recorded over 2 million beneficiaries in Sokoto State. The Minister for State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, stated this in Sokoto State on Monday during the Median Ministerial Town Hall meeting on NG Care's beneficiaries in Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara states. Represented by the chairman of the NG Care's Technical Committee, Mr. Aso Vakproye, the minister said part of the role of the current administration is to intermittently meet with and engage stakeholders as part of government accountability to the state. He said the purpose of the meeting was to basically hear the first-hand view of the beneficiaries on government policies and programs, as well as to feel the pulse of the nation. The federal government on Monday described as unworkable a bill currently being considered by the National Assembly seeking to restrict the migration of Nigerian doctors to climb perceived to be greener pastures. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, revealed this while fielding questions from journalists after the extraordinary Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the State House, Abuja. Responding to a threat by resident doctors to embark on a 5-day warning strike over perceived attempt to ground medical and dental graduates nationwide for 5 years before being granted a practicing license, Ngige said the bill negates extant labor laws. Reacting to the development, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors announced plans to embark on a 5-day warning strike, vowing to resist any guise to enslave Nigerian medical doctors. The federal government on Monday said it was developing a comprehensive guide for the incoming administration of Bola Tinubu on how to manage the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirits, also called petrol. It also insisted that the outgoing president of Muhammad Buhari has done well in the management of fuel subsidy, despite revealing that Nigeria spent over 13 trillion naira subsidizing PMS between 2005 and 2021. Now, speaking at the unveiling of the 2022 to 2026 strategic plan of the Nigeria Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative in Abuja, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, said the federal government had been following the debates around subsidy removal by citizens. He said some of the debates include the need to fix Nigeria's refineries and the creation of visible safety net programs to reduce the impact on the poor and vulnerable in the society, especially workers. The SGF, who was represented by a permanent secretary from the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Maurice Mbairi, said he had no doubt that the incoming administration would consider public interest issues. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has called on industry operators, particularly large consumers of petroleum products to consider moving from the use of diesel to gas in line with the federal government's designation of gas as Nigeria's transition fuel after the petroleum martyrs period. The NMDPRA Chief Executive Farouk Ahmed made the call at a one-day stakeholder engagement on gas utilization in Nigeria held at the Bristol Palace Hotel in Kano on Monday. Ahmed, who was represented by the Executive Director, Distribution System, Storage and Retailing Infrastructure, Obugo Ukoha, said there was an urgent need for large consumers of diesel to embrace the use of gas, which has been designated as Nigeria's transition fuel. He noted that it was in this regard that the federal government has put in place various initiative and policy framework, including the Natural Gas Expansion Program and the Decade Gas Expansion Program. Ahmed expressed hope that the engagement would create the necessary awareness and make a compelling case for the industry operators to foster a compliance culture which alone guarantees safer and sustainable facilities. And now up ahead, food, housing, logistic costs push inflation rate to 22.22%. Now this and more after this commercial break.